wow, like I have a lot to be thankful for. As you've seen from the title of this video, we are talking about living what you love. I think it's pretty important to just kind of have a right sort of thinking as we're going into the year, like get our minds in the right space. As we set out to achieve those goals, we should not forget the importance of the here and now and being thankful for what we have here and now. Even though I'm not yet where I want to be, I'm not where I was, and I'm thankful for this moment. I don't feel guilty for having what I have, but I think the problem is I never really stopped to realize how I'm so fortunate to have what I have. I wanted to make this video just to say to all of us as we're setting out to reach our goals and dreams for 2018, don't forget to love the life that you have. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Rachel Baskin and I'm the creator of the blog Dance in My Crown, a motivational blog geared towards empowering women to live purpose-driven lives. Thank you so much for watching this video. It is super cool to connect with you guys in this video. This is the very first video that I'm recording in 2018 and it's pretty exciting. If you've been keeping up with me for a while, you would know that over the Christmas period I kind of took like a 2-week break just to, you know, rest and enjoy the season and celebrate and have me a grand old time. But I'm back and it's great to be recording videos for you guys. And as you've seen from the title of this video, we are talking about living what you love, or maybe I should have called it loving what you live. Maybe that's what the title of this video will be, loving what you live. And so I felt that this video was actually pretty important to make because, you know, as it's the start of the new year, you know, we're in the first month of the year, we've got 11 more months to go. I think it's kind of, or for me personally, I'll say, I think it's pretty important to just kind of have a right sort of thinking as we're going into the year, like get our minds in the right space. If you watched one of my live streams, the very first live stream that I did for 2018, I spoke about how I am not a New Year's resolution type of girl. It's not for me, and I spoke a bit about why that is, and I'll actually drop the link to that video in the description below so that you can watch that. And in that video I talk a lot about why I'm just not a New Year's resolution person and what my thinking is behind that, and I would encourage you to watch it because I think it's beneficial, you know, not because I'm super wise or smart or whatever, but I think there might be something in there that you could, you know, glean a little bit of knowledge from. But kind of going on from that in terms of just, you know, getting your head in the right space for the new year, I really thought that it was quite important to be talking about just loving the life that you have right now. You know, I know that, you know, if you are of the New Year's resolution setting variety kind of person, you know, you have these goals and these dreams that you set out for yourself that you want to achieve by the end of the year, right? And that's all well and fine, do you? And I think one thing that is important to remember, or this is at least something that I'm trying to say for myself, like even though I don't set New Year's resolutions, I still have goals and dreams. Like I still have, there's still a place that I want to be by the end of this year. I want to be able to look back and see some growth from January to December. So I have goals and stuff that I'm setting for myself. But I think that as we set out to achieve those goals, we should not forget the importance of the here and now and being thankful for what we have here and now. And I think that's super important because you don't want to fall into a trap of being ungrateful or discontent with what you have in your life at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, well, let me actually explain to you what I mean. Like I'm saying, I think it's super good to have goals and dreams that you're setting out for yourself, and that's important. But I think sometimes it's nice to take a step back and to look at your life and to say, you know what? Even though I'm not yet where I want to be, I'm not where I was, and I'm thankful for this moment. Right here, right now, I'm thankful that I am who I am, that I have what I have, and that I can do what I'm able to do in the season of my life, you know? Excuse me. I think too often, sometimes we get so caught up in, you know, the things that we aspire towards and having all the things that we want to have, that we forget to be thankful for what we have right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, and let me give you an example that kind of illustrates this point. So just last night we were watching the news, and there was a segment in the news about people who earn minimum wage in big cities like Vancouver and Toronto and stuff, and how even at minimum wage, which has just gone up here in Canada, minimum wage has just gone up. But even, you know, with that increase, people working minimum wage jobs are just not able to get by, living in these big cities where rent is expensive and then the price of groceries is going up and gas and all that stuff. You know, there are some people out there who are really, really struggling to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? And these are people earning a salary where if they lived in a small town like where I do, they would be able to have a nice house and, you know, buy a car and whatever. So watching this segment in the news, it really kind of hit me right between the eyes, because I was like, wow, like I have a lot to be thankful for. Like there was this one guy, he said in the news segment, like for him, as he's walking on the street, and you know, it's winter time now, so it is cold. This cold is not playing games with people. But as he's walking in the street, not driving, as he is walking in the streets, you know, he looks at the people sitting in nice restaurants and eating all this nice food, and he thinks to himself, what am I doing wrong? Like, how can they have this stuff and I don't? And this guy who was saying this, like, he's been to university, he has a degree, and all he can get job wise is minimum wage jobs. But as he's walking past, seeing people driving nice cars, eating nice foods, eating out in restaurants, he can't help but ask himself, what am I doing wrong? And that was super hard hitting for me personally to hear that, because like 2 weeks ago, we celebrated our anniversary, or 2 weeks ago from when I'm recording this, we celebrated our anniversary a week early, because the weekend of our anniversary was Friday the 12th of January, and that weekend of our anniversary my husband was actually on call, so we weren't going to be able to celebrate per se that weekend. So we decided to celebrate a week in advance. We took the kids and went on like a little mini, you know, vacation, and we stayed at a nice hotel. They had a swimming pool and a hot tub, and we ate out every meal, and you know, Happy really spoiled us for our 5th anniversary. And hearing this guy talk about that in the news, I was like, oh my goodness, like I am one of those people that he's talking about, right? Like I'm one of those people who can afford to take my family to a nice restaurant. We stay in a nice hotel. We have a vacation. We have all the stuff that this person is like, wow, I wish I could have that, right? But here's the thing. I don't feel guilty for having what I have, but I think the problem is I never really stopped to realize how I'm so fortunate to have what I have. You know, I'm always looking to the next thing, the next goal, you know, hoping that, you know, we can have enough money to do this and that, and, you know, like, or whatever. But I admit I'm not always good at taking the time to sit and to think, wow, you know, I'm really blessed to have what I have, you know. And please don't get me wrong, like don't hear this video, watch this video and think like I'm bragging about all the cool stuff that we have. It's not at all that. It's actually just me kind of thinking out loud on camera and saying that, you know what, I'm so blessed to have what I have, and I'm not always grateful and I'm not always mindful of that, you know. And so I wanted to make this video just to say to all of us, as we're setting out to reach our goals and dreams for 2018, don't forget to love the life that you have right now. Be thankful for what you have right now. It might not be everything you want, but listen, you might be in a position where someone else would give anything else to be in your shoes, and yet you waste time willing to give everything to be in someone else's shoes, who in turn is willing to give anything to be in someone else's shoes, and on and on and on that cycle goes, right? But you got to ask yourself the question, at what point does it end? At what point do you say to yourself, okay, while I'm working for what I want, I will not forget to be satisfied and thankful for what I have right now. You know, I will not forget to be thankful for what I have. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to work hard towards achieving your dreams, and by all means do that, you know. But in the working, in the striving, in your grind, in your hustle, don't forget to be thankful for what you have right now. Like, I was looking at this guy and I was like, flip, like the things he's talking about, I take for granted. I take it so for granted that, like, we have 2 cars, we have a 3-bedroom house, we have a huge garden, like a 3-bedroom 2-bathroom house and a huge garden, and like we're so comfortable, whereas someone in my position living in the city, they're struggling. They wouldn't be able to have this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were in Vancouver last year, November, I think it was. Like, we met up with some of our friends. They were in the States on furlough, and they're really good friends, so we met up with them in Vancouver. That's kind of like, I wanted to say the halfway point, but not really, because they actually left their country to come to ours. We just drove 6 hours. But anyway, so we met up with them in Vancouver, and it was really nice. And I will admit that when we first came to Canada and, I saw the small town that we were living in, I hated it, because I am not a small town person. Even though I've been living in a small town for a year, I'm still very much a city girl. I love the busyness, the urban, the vibe, the diversity of people that you encounter on a day-to-day in the city. I love that. That's what I had when I was living in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I miss that. And so when we were in Vancouver, I was super excited because, woohoo, this city girl was gonna be in the city, right? And so as much as it was cool, Vancouver is a beautiful city, don't get me wrong, but as we were driving around, one thing I noticed about the houses, and even the vacation rental that we were staying at, because we rented a house, and us and our friends, it's like 2 families, right? We each have 2 kids each. So we rented a house that was big enough for both families. And in this house, it was beautiful inside, looked good on the outside too. But the one thing that really struck me about this place is I was like, wow, it doesn't have like a yard and a garden space, where like the kids can run around outside and play. Whereas in the house, in my house right now, there's like the yard goes around the whole property, But in Vancouver, and as we were driving, I was noticing that, like, not a lot of houses have this. Like, this is super weird to me, And especially coming from Johannesburg, South Africa, or having grown up in Johannesburg, South Africa, and even in our house in the Congo, we had a massive garden in the Congo, and we had a huge house in South Africa, in the house that I was growing up in before things went south. We had a huge house in South Africa that had a big garden, and most houses, I will say, at least in Johannesburg, from what I saw, like most of the houses it's a house and then it's a yard. So it's not just a house, it's like property, right? But in Vancouver, like, people buy houses, not property. And so to me, I was like, wow, that's super crazy. Like, it's like your whole life will be indoors, right? Because like, you're in your house indoors, there's no garden to go out, and then you go to your office, which is indoors, you go to the gym, which is indoors, the kids do extramural activities, which is indoors. Like, where do you ever go out to live and have fun or whatever, And so for me personally, like, I didn't like that. And I was like, wow, so this thing that I'm thinking Vancouver is the it thing for me, this is where I want to be. And it turns out that it's actually not that great. And I think there's a lesson in that too. Sometimes we spend so much time coveting and desiring what someone else has. And the truth is, it might not be all that it's cracked up to be. We were there in Vancouver. I think we were there for like 4 days. And it was beautiful and it was great, but if I'm honest, I'd rather be living here where I am right now, where there's like I said, where there's property. Like, my kids can go outside and literally run around the house because there is garden space around the whole house, And that is something that at first I didn't see because I was so busy wanting what the other people had, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lesson in that sometimes if you stop to just look around, you can find contentment in where you're at. You can find the beauty and the good in where you're at. And I think we need to be mindful of that in 2018, going forward into the year. By all means, achieve your New Year's resolutions, but always take the time to be thankful and to be grateful for where you're at right now. Because in this season and time, it's It's a beautiful thing to be where you're at. You know, it might not be all you want it to be, but it's not as bad as it could be too, you know. And so let's be mindful of that as we go forth into the year and achieve those hashtag New Year's resolutions. And that is me for this video. That's just what I wanted to share with you guys, a little bit of what is on my mind and on my heart. I hope that it was of some benefit to you. Please do let me know your thoughts and your thoughts in the comment section below. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say your thoughts and comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm very curious to hear what you think about the matter. And my question to you is, how can you practice more gratitude in your life? And what are you going to do today to be a more grateful person that you were yesterday? Leave your thoughts and your comments and your feedback in the comment section below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, thumbs up it. If you like the channel, subscribe to it. And if you're subscribed, hit the notification icon so that you know every single time I upload a video. But until we meet in either the next blog post or podcast or YouTube video or your live stream, I will connect with you again soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.